Coach, we talked last week about the Ohio State-Notre Dame game, what a great game it was going to be. It lived up to all the
You
hype.
think?
Your thoughts about the game?
Well, before we get to the game, I've always, when I was a head coach, I tried to take every opportunity I can to educate the administration, educate the fan, the viewer, people on the outside about the enormity of these games. You know, Ohio State does not play Notre Dame every year.
Right.
That's a once in a lifetime. I mean, that's a once in a generation opportunity. I got to coach in one of those games, and I mean, the enormity of the weight on your shoulders, and multiply that by 100 for the people actually doing it, the players. You know, and I never was a good enough player to do that. You played at Notre Dame. You played in that Notre Dame USC game. That does not go away. That's on your record for the rest of your life. And so when I was at Notre Dame, ironically, I coached a player, I don't want to give his name, but one time we came in after a loss, and the dejection after a loss, once again, it doesn't, you know, I've always admired the guys, I guess, water off a duck's back and move on. I was never that way, and a lot of the players aren't. And he told me, he says, you don't understand. I said, what do you mean? He says, do you understand how hard it is to go to class at Notre Dame when you lose a game like this? People look at you differently. Your teachers look at you differently. I mean, that some of these campuses across this country, there's only probably a couple of handfuls, right. Notre Dame and Ohio State being two of them. It changes your life when you lose it or you win a game like that.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's take a look at a couple of the plays in that last drive.
All right, Coach Notre, here we are, 3rd down and 10. The 2-minute drill that will, you know, the highlights will be running in this series forever when they play again, and incredible moment here for both teams. So it's 3rd down and 10. Ohio State runs a 4 vertical pass. At 4 vertical, they divide the field into quarters. You can see Emeka Egbuka up top, 2 yards outside the hash.
Yep.
His landmark on this play is going to be 2 yards outside the hash. Quarterback is going to deliver the ball. High-end execution here. 3rd down and 10, it's a 1st down. All right, Gerry, 4th and 7, huge play in the game, obviously. Very unusual set by Ohio State. They have 3 receivers into the short side of the field. Why do they do that? Number one reason, they want to identify man or zone. Obviously, it's man. Why? All 3 defenders covering the 3 receivers went into the boundary or the short side. If it was zone, there'd probably be just 2 there, and they could tell. So the coach and the quarterback want to get the perfect man beater on. Guess what they did? This is a rub route. You can see Julian Fleming here. He's going to run a drag route. But the key is the defender covering him has to run through these 2 stems. That's the defender's got the hardest job. He's got to chase Fleming all the way across the field. And you might ask, why is he not running this at 7 yards? Because in a man beater, you don't have to get the depth. It's up to the athlete to get those extra 2-3 yards. So this is a perfect execution of a perfect play against man coverage. All right, Gerry, here we go. You okay, Gerry?
Yeah.
I'm not. So it's 3rd down and 19, 15 seconds left. And this is one of those spots on the field that certain areas of the field you don't practice a lot. This, ironically, is practiced all the time. It's called last plays. This is a last play. This is something that you start in spring practice. Your quarterback, by the time they got to the situation, I can promise you the quarterback, the receivers, the offense line knew the play call. Right. Because they practice it, walked through it so many times during training camp, spring practice, and every week you cover this.
Because it's last play. That's
last play. There's nothing left. If you complete a short pass, you have no timeouts left. The clock's going to run out. Right. You can't get lined up and spike the ball. Right. If you come up short, you got a problem. And so and really this is one of those plays too that regardless of the defense, has got to work. Take a look down here, but you can only see briefly, but Marvin, the best player in the country, is down here at the bottom. Right. What's Notre Dame do to the best player in the country? They double him. Yep. They double him. So that leaves single coverage, or actually zone coverage across the board. And Kyle McCord, first big-time start he's ever had, he delivers maybe the best pass of his young career. This is a shot, 3rd down and 19, and it goes down the 1-yard line. Wow. And this is the final one. And there's a lot of good to this. There's also the reality, Notre Dame here in the final play of the game has 10 players on the field. Takes your breath away a little bit. But it's real. It happened. Those kind of things shouldn't happen, can happen. But Ohio State made the decision. They're down. This is last play of the game, 3 seconds left. They want the offense line to come screaming off the ball. They want the quarterback and the tailback get up in there tight. Notice how the quarterback has to lunge forward. And this is one of those short yardage plays. They're going running right up the center's rear end. Get your pads down. And he made it by this far. And the thing that, once again, reality is they have 10 players. Right. You know where the 11th player should have been? Is right where Ohio State ran the ball.
I know that. Great effort by both teams.
Great effort, great game, historic game.